Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode of Afrochat Weekly, where we discuss issues facing marketers and business owners. This in the last week, we discussed all the breaking news, stuff that has happened in the digital world, and we try to put it in a way that you can hopefully make use of the information. So we'll let you know what has happened and how that is affecting you today or might be affecting you in the future. My name is Ali Kibao, and with me, as always, is Laurina. Laurina, welcome to the show. Okay, so we've got plenty of stuff today, but before we get into that, I'd like to remind you folks, this show is brought to you by afrodynamics.com, a place you can go to and subscribe to stay up to date and to stay ahead of your competition and on top of your game. There's a couple of offers over there now. You can just go to the office section and see what information that you'd like to download. You can get that. That's for free, and you can subscribe, of course, to get stuff that's happening on the fly as it happens, and so you can stay up to date, know what's happening around you in the digital marketing world, because we all know that is the now of marketing and is going to be here for a very long time. We've got plenty of stories to cover today. We've got stories from WhatsApp. Facebook seems to be dominating all the social media and digital conversations. This just shows how big Facebook is. You cannot talk about digital without mentioning Facebook or a Facebook owned company anymore. This just shows the magnitude of Facebook. But anyway, we've got news from WhatsApp. We've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is sharing information with Facebook. Some people are freaking out about that. Facebook wants you to improve your mobile performance, and we'll see the implications for that. And if you're advertising on Facebook, you might want to pay attention to this. There's some fun things now as well that you can pinch to Zoom and Instagram, which apparently some people have and some don't, as well as a new feature that is now available on Facebook Messenger. For all that and more, stay tuned. So, Lorena, let's get straight into it. WhatsApp sharing information with Facebook. Of course, WhatsApp is a Facebook-owned company. Facebook bought WhatsApp for $3 billion. That's billion with a B dollars a few years back. So, and the promise, here's the thing, the promise was that WhatsApp was always going to remain independent, and Facebook was not going to interfere or try to change what WhatsApp is and what WhatsApp is all about. And of course, this news comes across. So what do you make of this? What do you understand of this news? Because I don't know, I've got conflicting information, because some people are saying it's just your phone number that Facebook will share with Facebook. Yeah. And by the look of the article that I'm reading here from Social Media Explorer, they seem to be suggesting that your conversations will be shared with Facebook as well. Is that your understanding of it at all, or what is this?
That is also my understanding. My understanding is that, let's say we're talking about iPhones. Facebook will get the information that we are talking about iPhones, and maybe I'll be like, hey, Ali, where do I buy? I need a new iPhone. Where do I go? I'm guessing that's what Facebook will pick up. So anybody who owns a store where they repair iPhones, etc., and they put an ad up on Facebook, you and I will now get that ad because you were talking about it. That's what I seem to understand from what the article is saying. I don't know.
The article itself is very, very, let me make myself comfortable here. The article itself is very short and very sort of vague. It's like, WhatsApp has changed its privacy policy. Now we all know that. And of course, you can opt out of this service, something that not many people do at all. I mean, I live this life, and my job is digital, and I never go through my very seldomly, only for things that matter, that I take the extra precautions to go into the security settings and all that. But with my Facebook, I don't really care much, because I know they're collecting information one way or the other. So you can opt out, but they know not many people are going to do that. But my understanding of this news, and this is from everything else I've read and heard, is that they're only going to be sharing your phone numbers, which Facebook already has your phone number. You remember when you're signing up with the Facebook app, they're always asking for your phone number, and they say so. They're just basically trying to match things up, but I don't think it's about the conversation because the conversations are encrypted. Do you remember we got all these messages lately when you
Yeah.
message someone and say this is encrypted? And Facebook got in trouble in Brazil, and they actually Facebook was shut down for a few days, several times, because they wouldn't share information with the government. Not because they didn't want to, they just say we can't because we don't
Yeah.
have access to the conversations. So if I take that into account, and when they say that messages are encrypted, it means they're not going to be sharing what you are conversing about, which is why I don't understand what this article from Social Media Explorer is insinuating, that
Yeah.
I mean, for advertisers, that would be golden. But if I put two and two together, and I haven't read the privacy policy at all, like I don't think anybody does, but but that's the essence of it. I said, as far as I understanding it, is they're going to share your phone number, but this is just the beginning. Facebook always wants more data. Facebook
Yeah.
paid $3 billion for WhatsApp. That thing has to make money for them, some one way or the other. And one thing, if I can just add quickly, if you look at messaging platforms like WeChat, for instance, do you use WeChat at all?
No, I probably only downloaded it once. I didn't understand it, and then I deleted it.
Yeah, you see, right? Me neither. I don't use WeChat, so I downloaded, looked around, and all that. But
Yeah.
in countries like Asia and some Middle Eastern countries, WeChat is basically a self-contained internet. So you're on WeChat, you're chatting to someone, you can book a doctor's appointment through WeChat, you can pay the doctor, you can buy stuff on WeChat, you can book for, you can call a taxi, an Uber, whatever. You can do everything through WeChat, and that's what Facebook Messenger is trying to be. But they've
Yeah.
got WhatsApp that billions of people are using it. And the reason people are using WhatsApp because it does one thing and it does it very well. So we're going to see. I think there's going to be more to come about this story, but we're going to see how it goes. At the end of the day, if you're an advertiser, you should be excited because you'll be able to target a little bit better. But for the users, I don't know. Do you think a lot of people will care and leave WhatsApp for this?
Actually, I heard about this news from my mother, of all people.
Wow, that is
Yeah, she was
interesting.
panicking. She came to me. She's like, WhatsApp is sharing the information with Facebook. You need to change your settings. And I'm thinking, Mom, I would know, okay? Like, calm down. Little did I know. So yeah, I
Wow.
think the older generation, especially when they don't realize that information is being shared anyway, when they hear news
Yeah.
like this, they'll panic. But I don't think anyone's gonna leave WhatsApp. No, that's not gonna
Yeah, I
happen.
mean, you're going to get a few people that care a lot about security. Maybe they're going to leave here
Yeah.
and there, but I don't think it's going to affect WhatsApp or Facebook in any case. Staying with Facebook, of course, there isn't much else on the internet. The internet seems to be Facebook and Google right now. And
Yep.
that seems to be the entire internet experience. It just seems to be
Yeah.
Facebook and Google, and that's it. It's amazing. It's crazy, crazy stuff. So Facebook wants people to improve your website performance, and they wrote an extensive article here about you must improve your website performance. But that's not the news here, and they go into detail about the things that you should look out for, minimizing landing page directs, compressing files, all these technical things that they put out to make your website faster. Now, why is
Yeah.
Facebook doing this? Of course, if you're advertising on Facebook, you ideally want to send people to your website, although Facebook wants to keep everyone on Facebook. You ideally, we discussed last week, remember?
Yeah.
So now they are saying that they want you to improve your mobile website performance. And if you don't, in the near future, Facebook will be punishing in the sense that they won't be showing your adverts more frequently if you are not if your website is not pleasant to you. So if people are getting to your website and leaving immediately, that will be an indication to Facebook that this website is not user friendly. What do you make of
Yeah.
this news? And the websites that we're working with, and it's always a battle to get people to go to the website to begin with, but now there's this. What do you make of this, and what are your feelings about such announcements from Facebook?
I feel like it's a good thing that they obviously want to give us as a user, so I'm going to speak as a user now, websites that are going to load fast because we just don't have time for anything else. In this day and age, people just really don't have time to wait 8 seconds for a page to load. So I understand how Facebook would care about its users more than it cares about the audience that your website has, if that makes sense. So because I'm clicking onto the website using Facebook, if I have a bad experience and it's kind of like, oh, Facebook always gives me slow websites or whatever, they don't necessarily care that people want to still see my website. So from their point of view, yeah, okay, sharp. But from a marketer's point of view, again, now we've got to, squeeze and twist and
Yeah, and
turn according to
our
what
problem is
Facebook
usually
wants.
that we don't really have control with most of
Yeah,
these websites. So the website has been built by somebody else, and then you're working with that website. And every time you want something changed, you have to go back to the web developer. So we don't have much control over
yeah,
the websites and improving their performance. And we are knowledgeable in the website space, but
yeah,
imagine the business owner, he doesn't even
yeah,
know, she doesn't even know if her website is fast enough, or how do you see, how do you test, there's a few things you can do. If I can just give business owners a tip here, you should go to Google and Google for Google page speed. That's the term you should use, Google page speed. And the next page that comes up will allow you to put your website in, and then it will give you a breakdown on how your website is performing on mobile and how your website is performing on desktops. And then you can talk to whoever it is that's managing or has developed your website to improve those things. So you can send them that those findings, and then they must look into it. But it's crazy, we don't have much control over this. And
yeah.
in the sense that the website, now we've got to deal with it. And I think it's going to be a big problem. I think, however, Facebook is trying to promote. They have this whole accelerated mobile. That's Google. They have the, when you're scrolling through Facebook, and then some articles have got that lightning bolt. Now I've talked so much about it, I can't remember what. Instant
No,
articles. Instant articles. Are you familiar with those?
no, I'm not.
Okay, so instant articles are basically a way that you create you make your website pages so that they load instantly on Facebook. Like literally instantly the moment you tap. So it's a stripped down version of and New York Times, the big publishers, Huffington Post, they do these things. BuzzFeed, they do these articles quite a bit, and usually they would have a little lightning bolt on the top right corner to show you that this is an instant article. And Facebook is trying to push for more and more website advertisers, publishers to have that kind of thing. But with the new shoppable ads, Lorena, maybe it's not even important to send people to your website anymore. I don't know. Have you investigated that, how it works? And
No, not yet, but I do understand what you are saying. But then again,
mm,
we've always said don't build on borrowed land. So yeah, it might be easier for you to just have, all your content there in your carousel ad or instant shopping or whatever. But at the end of the day, after someone's left that, then what do you do with them? They're gone.
yeah,
If they don't want to buy your product right there and then, yeah, they could always save a post because you can do that now. But how many people actually go back to their saved posts and like
I,
go
I
through
save
all
I
that?
save a lot of posts and I never go back to them.
I save at least 30 a day. But I can tell you, I hardly go back. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good thing to have that instant, access, but we still need to build a list. And we can build that by people going onto our website, subscribing to our email, and then we can get them later.
Yeah, I mean, the rules keep changing, and it doesn't look like the rules are going to stop changing anytime soon. They're going to keep changing for as long as these people want to keep making more money, because whatever they're doing today, it's only going to make them a certain amount of money, and then they need to make more of it.
Yeah.
So they either need to change the products or the way the product works. In most cases, is how the product works, and then the rest of us are just screwed, basically.
Yeah,
That's the essence of it. So we've got to be very, very careful whenever we make these changes. Even the whole instant articles thing,
yeah,
it's a lot of effort to get them to work. But then, what's the end game? Like what do you do after? It's a nightmare sometimes. But you got
yeah,
to stay up to date. And speaking of staying up to date, don't forget to go to afrodynamics.com and subscribe over there. We'll do all the hard work for you, so we keep you up to date with what's happening. You can get, when this show goes live, you want to come and join us. Hopefully, in the near future, you'll be able to join us here live and interact with us as well. So go to afrodynamics.com. Um, the next article is about millennials. And everybody, of course, if you're a business owner who intends to be around for a little while, you've got to think about the younger generation and how they use the internet and the apps on their phones, and how you can get them accustomed to your brand. We know brands like Coca-Cola, for instance, they've made a huge shift in terms of where their advertising budget is going. So instead of, we saw this especially in the last 2 years, they haven't done much this year. They have moved away from the whole, a lot of TV ads, a lot of billboards. You hardly see these things, Coca-Cola do these things anymore. What you started seeing more of, and that hasn't been much in 2016 or the later part of 2016. You remember the whole your name on the can.
yeah,
They did all these funny campaigns that people would really enjoyed interacting with the product. And I must say, they got the younger people to talk about
yeah,
Coca-Cola, to interact with Coca-Cola as a brand, and to interact with Coca-Cola as a product. They did a great job at that. And it was a deliberate effort when they outlined their plans. I think it was in 2014, 13, 14, when they made an intentional effort to say, hey, we're steering away from traditional media. I don't know what's traditional anymore, because even social media is now traditional. So it's like
yeah,
steering away from that, and we're making a deliberate effort to create more content. And they did wonderful things in India, where they united people from Pakistan and India who had spoken for a long time through these Coca-Cola machines, and they did these pranks. So they did other forms of content which allowed people to interact with the brand. So now back to the Social Media Today article. For us here. Can you take us through some of the highlights? Especially what stood out to me is the whole they prefer video to text. I'm like, yeah, that's for
yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
We know we're creating a lot of video. This is video right here. This, millennials. That's why we're doing
All
this.
the
We're not writing a
millennials,
blog post. Yeah. So can you take us
because
through
they are
some of the
so
highlights?
picky.
Yeah. There's a lot here, and there's a nice infographic here. So, can you take us through some of the things that stood out to you, and why you think those would be relevant to business owners and marketers in South Africa?
Well, it's all mobile. I mean, I'm a millennial, so I understand that, but I understand that some people may not have grasped that yet, especially the older generation. They kind of see mobiles as things to text with or get in contact with people with. But a lot of millennials do use mobile to gain
And
information,
to
gain
to to
information on your
that
business.
to that point, Laurina, you make a
Yeah,
very good point. A lot of when you say a lot of older people, unfortunately, the business owners that we work with, it's people that are successful and have been around a while, so they fall in that age group, in that category. So now
yeah.
we have to get the privilege to explain to them that, hey, it's all
Mhm.
mobile now. Your mobile
Yeah.
is just for texting anymore. That's the
Hmm.
way people live their lives. So you're hitting it right on there when you say they don't. A lot of the older generation might not understand this, and that's why it's important that we address these things to business owners and markets in general. Okay, please proceed. So it's all mobile, yes, and
Yeah.
please.
Video over text, I mean, we've been talking about that. I feel like we talk about video at least once in every episode. And I think people get it now. I hope so. I hope that people that watch our show at least get it. That millennials don't really, not that we don't have time, but no, actually, we don't have time. Honestly, we want a 10-second video to watch, gain information about your business, what you're all about, and simply move on with life. I don't know why we don't like reading, but we just don't. And so if you can do business just using
Isn't it
video,
just isn't
not
it just more
sending.
because just to your point, and we don't know why we don't like I don't know if I'm a millennial anymore. I'm over 30. I don't know. I don't even know what these age groups mean anymore, because the Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials, blah blah blah. The video over text.
Yeah,
When I'm scrolling through my social feed, and here's the interesting thing, right? Facebook, I think, released some stats a few weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, about how many billions of views they're getting on Facebook and whatnot. But most of the video was watched without sound. So now that is why you are getting these videos from publishers which have text overlay. So
yeah,
subtitles are very important, because
yes,
people, you're scrolling, and the last thing you want is to play it loud, and not everybody carries their earphones all the time with them. You plug in your earphones just to consume the piece of content. People
yeah,
just want to tap play, watch it, and get some context. So now you get all these publishers, they bring in all these videos which have text overlay, which are basically explaining what's happening in the video. So it's interesting. But I certainly, for myself, I prefer to tap on it. Even when I'm looking on how to do something, I don't like reading
yeah,
on how to do it. I want to go to
yeah.
YouTube, get a video, show me how to do it. I can see it visually. I'm that kind of person. So yeah, video over text. That's the second thing that stood out to you. What else?
The other thing that stood out to me was personalization. Just like you were saying about the Coke bottles and having your name on the Coke bottle, I feel like the reason why that hit us so hard is because, like the article says, we like to feel special. We like to feel like, I'm important. Treat me like I'm the only person who buys from your business. That is just what millennials want to feel like.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why, but yeah.
Uh,
So
uh,
that's another thing that
Isn't
stood
it?
out.
Isn't it just general human nature? Everybody wants to feel special every now and again. I mean,
But
if
I
you
don't think it
if
happened as much as I don't think it was this bad before. I mean, you want personalized hotel rooms, you want personalized laptops, you want to change the color of our phones, you want it like
are you
everything.
saying we are entitled?
Yes, we do feel it. That's how I feel. Our parents were fine with just getting, if the iPhone just came in white, they would be like, fine, the iPhone just comes in white, whatever, I don't care. But now we want rose gold, we want to send it over and turn it red and pink and orange. You want to feel unique. And yeah, that is millennials.
Yeah, and I think the internet has allowed people who are unique, the LGBT community,
Yes,
women, not that I mean to group everybody in the same group, but the minorities, women, people who were previously not advantaged. So the internet has
yeah,
allowed people to connect and give them a voice to say, hey, we do have a choice. We don't just have to take whatever is given to us.
yeah,
So that movement has gone all the way into how we expect to experience products and services, because
yeah,
now we suddenly know, hey, I'm not the only one who feels this way. So I'm unique in my own way. And not just that, not just because I'm unique, I don't have to go sit in a corner anymore. There's people like me who also have a voice, so we can all be different in our different ways, and we can express that difference. So there's more freedom to express, and then over and above that, I think there's more connectivity between people who want that freedom and who are willing to express their sense of fashion, their sense of life choices and preferences. So
yeah.
yeah, I think the personalization goes a long way with the is part of the internet, as much as we all sometimes sheep and just follow. Yeah. So personalization. Anything else that stands out here?
No, everything else was just, I think it was just general knowledge. And the infographic it just shows the different way people use the different, different social media and, yeah, percentages of
Yeah.
male and female, just
And of
general
course,
stuff.
guys, you can get the links in the show notes. So we
Yeah,
do publish a post with all the links of everything that we've discussed here on the show, and you'll be able to get that shortly after we finish the show. So you'll be able to see the video as well as the links to these articles. Our last and final story comes to us courtesy of Instagram, and this is a little bit of a fun one. I didn't even know this was a thing. I just took it for granted that you scroll through Instagram and you just don't zoom into images. I never saw the need to zoom into images, but apparently the older people, speaking of older people that we just spoke about now, they have been wanting to pinch to zoom for quite some time, and their dreams just came true because Instagram a couple of days ago announced that now you can pinch to zoom on your Instagram. This is an update that's rolling out. Apparently I've got it, Laurina hasn't got it yet, but it's rolling out to Instagram users worldwide. Now you can pinch to zoom. I don't know, Laurina, is this something that you ever wanted? I didn't even notice that you couldn't do it until they made an announcement like, oh, you couldn't do it in the beginning? I didn't understand what was going on.
I think I've only ever wanted to pinch to zoom like once. Probably there was just one picture I couldn't see properly, and I was like, you know what, it would be good to zoom in. But that's about the only time I've ever thought about it until you brought it up, and I was like, wait, they still hadn't
You can't?
put up that feature. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
no. And the fact that
I
our
don't
screens
know.
are getting bigger as well, there is no need.
Yeah, I mean,
So
seriously.
I don't know,
Look
but it
at the
doesn't
iPhone
hurt.
6, for instance. It's
Yeah.
ridiculously. I don't know why the first picture on my feed is this guy holding the target practice. But here's the thing, right? So now, the thing I like about it, I've never even thought about this. The thing I like about it is that when you zoom, uh, and when you finish zooming, when you let go, it snaps back. So it doesn't leave you hanging there. Like now you have to zoom back in to get to where you were in the beginning, so
Yeah.
I quite like that you can. I don't know if this guy's taking a leak here. Oh my goodness, what's on my Instagram feed? But
You
anyway,
chose a great day to show us your
yeah, yeah.
feed.
So you can basically zoom in now and see those images, see where this guy hit his target very clearly. I don't know how far I can zoom in. Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
a
there
bit.
we go. And it's still going. Whoa, okay. So you can really get into the details of this if it's a good photograph. I guess it could be a nice feature if you want to see someone's number plate or whatever if you're a stalker. But
Now this is the
that's
stalker feature. That's how I feel.
it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But for those who want it, it's there now and it's available for you to use. That's all we've got time for today. We thank you very much for staying with us. We hope to see you again next week. And please don't forget to go to afrodynamics.com and subscribe and grab one of those offers that are available there in the menu section. You'll find the offer section. There's a few PDFs that you can download. And there's a subscribe section, of course, which is what we would love for you to do. And we'd also love to hear from you wherever you're watching this from. Please let us know if there's things that you'd like us to discuss, if there's things that you'd like us to improve, change. We'd love to get feedback from you. And as always, the notes and the links that we've discussed in the show will be at afrodynamics.com. Until next time, we thank you very much for joining us. Stay on top of your game and ahead of your competition. Bye-bye.